So I study behavior, and I look a lot at welfare, a lot of what is good for these animals. What do they have what they want? Do they have what they need? How can we partner as pet guardians and provide for that with them? Because we're different species. I mean, we're talking about felines, and you've got Lillian sitting here who's a canine, and she is an amazing animal in the sense that not only have we domesticated her so that she's a completely different species than a wolf or a jackal,
Yeah.
but she's co-evolved with us.
Yes.
So that she relies not just on her primary sense, which would be olfactory, right?
Yeah,
Her nose.
right. Mm-hmm.
She looks at you.
She does.
She's become visual, and they've figured us out, I think, in a lot of ways more than we've figured them out.
Yeah, it's very true, you know, and I think it shows in the intelligence. I won't go on and on about how intelligent my dog is.
But she is.
She is. She's amazingly, to this day, she still amazes me at some of her behavior, sort of demonstrates her intelligence.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm not being too intelligent, she is, and I'm trying to think and figure out, like, why are you sitting over there? Why won't you move from there? And then I find out why. She wants me to notice something that's above her, and she'll sit there. She'll get in my path, so this way I won't forget about her.
Does she direct her? Does she get your gaze directed? Does she look at the thing and then look at you, and then look at the thing and then look at you?
She does that, yeah. And you know, sometimes I don't catch it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I catch her looking at me, and I think that's, you know, in a way that might be somewhat egotistical, and I forget that she's looking at me and looking at this.
So she'll do that, and that's one of the big differences with dogs and wolves, where they did a study where, you know, you raise a wolf by hand and you give it a food treat, put it in a box,
Mm-hmm.
and do the same thing with the dog, and the wolf will just try to get the treat, doesn't matter if it can get it or not,
Mm-hmm.
and the dog will look at the human for assistance when it can't open it.
Right, exactly. For her, she'll do it for permission.
Yep.
Permission. But, you know, she's an unusual case because she's bred for a specific reason. But, you know, getting back to cats versus dogs. Now, do you see like there's a real difference between, you know, the relationship that a cat would have with its owner versus a dog? I find that cats aren't very needy.
You know, it's such an interesting thing that you say that, because sometimes I say that cats are the stepchild of the companion animal world. You know,
Really?
we actually, as a society, have more cats than dogs. I don't know if you realize that. Cats are the #1 pet right now in the United States.
Oh, I can see that.
However, more people have dogs. Okay, so why? So people typically have more than one cat.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have 2 cats. So more households have dogs as pets, but there are more cats in pet households.
Okay, so there are more cats per person.
Exactly. So you have Lillian,
Mm-hmm.
I have Daisy, you know, I have a dog.
Right.
But people typically have 2 or 3 cats.
Right.
So they'll talk about the cats. So cats, #1, you're right in the sense when you say less needy, in that less domestication. We've had dogs for a much longer period of time. We've been breeding them for longer. We've really put a lot of selection pressure on them. I mean, this is a retriever. She's a working dog.
She's
right?
a working dog, but she's a retired dog.
She's retired, but her whole breed, all dogs worked with us. They did a ton of work for us, whether it was herding,
Yeah.
carrying things,
Yeah.
helping with hunting. So they've been with us for longer. When we became, you know, we stopped being, even as hunter-gatherers, they were out there hunting with us.
Yeah.
Cats, you got much less time in the thousands and thousands of years of domestication, and it was kind of like an adjunct thing, you know, like, let me get the rodents for you.
Yeah.
We don't really get them out there and work with them, kind of a thing. So you do see less of that. However, I will say that cats are as social, but they're different.
Yeah.
You interact with Lillian. You call her over to you, you walk her, you play with her. We kind of expect the cat to come to us.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I suggest, if you've got like cat aggression, or you want to change your relationship with a cat, or you've got a new person that comes in, is to have a person play with the cat.
Yeah.
With an actual interactive toy. So you'll see more of a different kind of a relationship. So when you look at the difference with cats and dogs, where's the human part of it? Where's our interaction? And then, in terms of them not being as needy, I would say they can't open that can of cat food or scoop out that cat box.
Right.
And some of them, depending on their personality, are going to be more gregarious, are going to be more social.
Yeah.
Cats, interestingly enough, science doesn't like to talk about personalities with cats and dogs.
Yeah.
But with cats, we actually have studies that we chart their personality types: timid, shy. You know, we do this whole thing with what kind of cat is more appropriate for a person to have, to try to match them so that we have successful pairings and they stay and don't get returned to shelters.
Yeah, we don't want that, you know, because we know what happens there. You know, it's a sort of sad thing when you think about it. But you have a company actually that you work with, and give us the URL.
So you can find me at www.animalsbehaving.com.
Animalsbehaving.com.
Right.
Okay. And so do you work with another animal behaviorist in this company, or is it just, are you the sole proprietor?
It's me. I'm the one who does the work, goes out there.
Okay.
And so I do the research, I do the consulting, and I do a lot of everything that you'll find on my website is, I have a lot of case histories, I have a lot of practical tips, a lot of strategy on how to actually do some of these things, like we talked about the litter box that for cats, and even with dogs about walking them and what to do if they're fearful, and or if you've got aggression, house training, you know, the kind of stuff you need to know when you're living with a dog
Yeah.
or a cat.